Jill, what is up, PPL fans? Shadi, your coach of Bayern Munich, and welcome to my PPL Season 6 draft analysis. Yes, it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded, been an even hotter minute since I've recorded last. But we're back. I have a new headset, I have a new laptop, which is the exciting part, so I could actually do things now, which is quite exciting. And we have a new PPL season. This is, without much doubt, my last PPL season because I don't care for Pokemon in the slightest at the moment. The fact that I'm even doing this season is already weird. But I'll do my best to finish the season and to, you know, actually play like a human being and not like a dumpster fire, which is also possible. But yeah, interest in Pokemon has gone down. Instead, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. If not Overwatch, then I guess it's FIFA or whatever else. You know, it's just not Pokemon basically. But yeah, Overwatch has been my absolute obsession recently. Overwatch League and whatnot, as you will know if you follow me on Twitter. But you know, gotta get those 12 videos up. I'm not gonna do T-Builder videos because that's extra effort that I don't need in my life. But I just go over team in the battle video, as I used to do. I think I did it for a while. And yeah, might have to edit it out, whatever. Yeah, just gonna do, you know, chill stuff, and I don't really care how well I do this season because whatever. I'm gonna try to win, obviously, because what else is the point if you play the game without trying to win? But if I don't, then I'm not going to be too upset. If I get hacks, I will try to stay calm in comparison to back in the day. So, PPL Season 6, yes. Still rocking D1. By the way, don't mind my background. That's just a stallful. You know, he's just chilling. I didn't think of that before I wanted to record, and I was like, ah, fuck it. Just keep it there. Can't see anything. Yeah. So, PPL Season 6, the budget has been changed to 120, so we have more points to play around with. Other than that, pretty much, you know, same stuff. I guess as Emu users, we have a budget of 25 points, you know, out of the 120 points. Well, we can choose Pokemon that have up to 25 point value, which makes it so that you can have, you know, two ridiculously broken Zemu users, but you can have one really good one and then one not so great one, one lower tier one, I guess. Or you can have two middle tier ones, and that's kind of how that goes. I will go over my reviews later. I think I made some good decisions there. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I don't think there's much else to say. I guess newcomers to Division 1 before the season starts. Redison is now up in D1, or up in the PPL. Kyle got promoted, Ellie got promoted, and I think that's it for now. Oh, and Trev, of course. Trev CL is also new to the league. I think you should know him. Very well-known draft league player, good friend of mine. And we get to play him again after we played him in NPL and whatnot. So, without further ado, as you know, I'm still rambling even though I haven't recorded in a while. I was 3rd overall in the draft, which is beautiful. I keep getting ridiculously lucky with my draft positions in the PPL, which is beautiful, because that means I can get the one Pokemon I knew I wanted. Well, it was two, but you know, this is the one pick. And of course, if you know me, there's only one Pokemon that I always want in, you know, serious drafts, I suppose, and that is none other than my babe, Lopunny, Mega Lopunny, of course, mine, first overall pick. You know what it is. Gotta be shiny. That's important. Yeah, Mega Lopunny. Not really any new toys, I think. Did it get Throat Chop? It didn't. So yeah, nothing new. It's still a Mega Lopunny, and this gives me, you know, the cleanup sweeper to start off with, a Pokemon opponents are always gonna have to prep with, and a bit of a, you know, bag of surprises, I suppose, because there's a lot of things I can do with Mega Lopunny that I probably won't do, but it's always something to consider if you run like Cosmic Power Baton Pass, Agility Baton Pass, fucking Spike Stack with Cosmic Power, Circle Throw, Rest, Sleep Talk, I don't fucking know, that kind of thing. I can always do ridiculous things with it, and it's always a good Pokemon. It gives me priority right off the bat, it gives me that beautiful speed tier, and just in general, Mega Lopunny is my favorite Pokemon, period. So good. And yeah, that's pretty much that. There's not much to say because it's a Mega Lopunny. But yeah, really happy they got it. Third overall. First two picks were Mega Diancie and Blacephalon. That's a new thing that was allowed. Super Unbound was also another thing that was allowed. That was the pick right after. Picked up by Ruby. And yeah, it's Mega Lopunny. Come on, I'm really happy that I got it, and we'll see how it goes. But to pair with Mega Lopunny as another one, I always draft when I get the opportunity to, because it's just so good, so useful. And that is a dark type because it pairs up perfectly with Mega Lopunny, and the one that also helps with the fairies in the sense that it also baits them in. So having two things that pressure the fairy is super duper nice. As I can run respective coverage on them, and Iron Tail, Mega Lopunny, and Poison Jab on Weavile. Yes, once again, I drafted Tharja as I always do. Ice Shot is just so important in the meta right now, in my opinion. With all these stupidly broken Z moves like Lanoty, like Salamence, like Dragonite, and so on and so forth. Having Ice Shot to just check them at any given point is so important. They can run Yachty Berry, can't talk. But then they don't have a Z move. So that's all fine and dandy. So Weavile puts a lot of pressure on those mons, as well as, of course, being the Dark type that with Pursuit that pairs up well with Mega Lopunny for those scary Psychic types, as well as Ice Shot, of course, being a nice way to check any kind of Scarfed Flying type that wants to deal with Mega Lop. And yeah, I love these two together. These are two of my favorite mons in draft form, period, as you should know by now. Mega Lopunny was 18 points, Weavile was 16. So that's that. And yeah, I just love these two Pokemon. They obviously have this shared weakness of fighting types. They are pretty similar in the way they play in general. So, and they both have not too great defenses. Mega Lopunny, of course, with 94, 96 defenses, not too bad, but it ain't bulky, and Weavile is the frail one. But they both give me priority. They both give me speed, and that's two things that I really value on my teams. And I have that covered immediately. So, round 3, another Pokemon I really want to draft, and it's a Fighting Resist. It's the one that I've never used in the 2 Series League. I had an FDA. I had it in, what was it called? GOT, I think? That one tournament that asked it? Yeah, I had the worst draft in history, and I just didn't care about anything. It didn't go too well, but, memes. I got this one, and I've always wanted to draft it. I never got to do it, and I'm really glad I finally got it. Round 3, we get Reuniclus. That's gonna be Ashido, after Mina Ashido from Boku no Hero Academia. She's best girl. Don't fucking at me. So yeah, Reuniclus gives me that nice fighting sponge. It gives me the counter Trick Room user, because with my first 2 picks that are super duper fast, I'm kind of inviting Trick Room, right? Reuniclus is like, you can bring the Trick Room, I'll bring the pain, and that's fine. With Magic Guard also is a nice status absorber for those other 2, because people are gonna try to burn them, and Reuniclus is just not gonna care about it and can just switch in on that. It deals with most things. It also is another thing that deals with bulky psychics for the most part, because they can toxic me, I can toxic them, or I can just Calm Mind on them. That also works. Well, they can't do a whole lot, except for toxic me and skill swap. Shout out to Togevoir. But yeah, I can also run the regenerator set with Assault Vest or whatever it may be, and be a John. And yeah, Reuniclus is just a fantastic Pokemon. I really want to make this my Z-move user, but with how my draft went, I couldn't. There were other options that were just better. I really wanted Z Reuniclus though for the Z Focus Blast, the Z Thunder, and of course the Z Toxic set, which is such a good set, and I absolutely love it. Calm Mind, Z Toxic, Recover, and Psychic move, so you can Toxic the Dark type and get your defense boost, and then just go from there. Granted, I can still do that, but without defense boost, it's not as reliable. And yeah, the thing, there's not much to say about Reuniclus, because you know what it does at this point. It's not a new Pokemon. It's very commonly drafted Pokemon, but it's so good. I'm really looking forward to using it. I hope I can bring some different spicy sets to it, with it, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll bring the old Done Deal special of Focus Punch, or who was it? I think Gassy special with Drain Punch. I don't know, but I have Weavile, so what's the point? Yeah, that's that. It gives me the nice 30 speed comparison to these two. It's quite hot. Yeah, it's bulky, it's strong, and I love it. that's pretty much that. But at this point, it's still, fighting type is still a problem. I want to secure fairy early because I want a good fairy, a defensive one, because dragons are scary. But I also wanted something cheap, rather, because I didn't want to spend that much money. My draft plans were still a fucking mess. Just say how it is. But I knew that I would rather have more money at the end than spend it now, so I didn't go with Sylveon, which was still there, and Sylveon is just reliable. Clefable is already obviously taken because it's a fucking Clefable. There were some others, I don't even remember because it's been a while since the draft happened, but I went with the one I already had before because it's relatively cheap and it gives me a lot of money. Play around with at the end, and that is of course Ribéry, the Aromatisse, coming back again from PPL Season 3, where I didn't do a whole lot. I brought it to one game and then dropped it for Klefki. I didn't want Klefki on this team. I had a C-type in mind. That was one Pokemon, another one that I really wanted later on, which you will get to. I actually did get it, which is great, and you'll see what that is. But didn't want Klefki because I've had it too many times, so I'm like, oh, I need a Steel and a Fairy. Fucking just give me Klefki, whatever. But I didn't want that. So Aromatisse, of course, can't be taunted with Aroma Veil, and it has now a nice addition to its move pool in Nasty Plot, which is super cool. So I can potentially run Trick Room sets with Nasty Plot, so that gives me another Trick Room abuser, so I have these two that are just stupid slow, where my opponent really doesn't want to bring Trick Room against me because I could just counter Trick Room them, or just counter them with my offense. So Aromatisse gives me a Cleric, so if I don't sponge this as Ridiculous, I can sponge it with this, or just, get rid of it. Gives me another Calm Minesweeper. It just gives me that nice fairy, nice cleric, a wish passer, which for some Pokemon later on is really nice. For, of course, for my first three, it doesn't matter a whole lot, but it's really nice later on. It gives me that dragon immunity, gives me another fighting resist, that dark resist, just everything I need, just in a nice, cheap, ugly package. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I can run dual skins and stuff, but yeah, Aromatisse is just an Aromatisse. It does its thing, it's fat, and it takes the hits, and that's all I needed to do. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it more than I did Season 3, I would hope so. But yeah, so we have 2 months from Season 3. My best PPL season, my best season period, really. And now it's at a Pokemon that where did I have it? In PPL off season? I think that's the only place where I had this Pokemon. Could be wrong. It's also my starter in my latest Ultra Sun playthrough. Because I wanted a grass type, I wanted removal at least somewhat at some point, even though I don't really bring it too often unless I feel like it's necessary. With a Weavile on my team, I kind of will have to bring it occasionally. So, and there were 3 options for that, for grass type enemy and removal that I liked. Delmise, Serena, and Decidueye. I said it's my starter, so it's gonna be Decidueye. Takumi, shout out to Fire Emblem Fates. The edgy sniper just fits. And yeah, the Decidueye is just a cool one. It gives me a default. I said it gives me that bulky grass that you kind of need nowadays. It gives me a spin blocker, which is kind of cool to have, and just another ghost, another fighting immunity in this case with my 2 resistances. So that's already pretty much dealt with. It gives me something new. Baton has sword stances and nasty plots around, which is cool. And it gives me momentum with U-turn, which I don't have really. I have Baton Pass and Megalopony Shore, and that's it. So having a little bit of momentum on my team is quite nice. I really like this Decidueye. I think it's a cool mod. I can do a lot of cool things that people just don't do. What I will do it or not is a different story. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I really like this Decidueye. And it also, it just beats other grass types as well, because it does get Brave Bird. You can Nasty Plot up on them, that kind of thing, which is super duper cool. And I just like it as a Pokemon. It has the nice niche of Baton Passing, and you can run Scarf. Shout out to Donut, who ran the good old Scarf. I completely forgot Sucker Punch as well, so that's another option I have. And yeah, it gives me that pseudo check to Zygarde, just running Choice Band and clicking 1000 arrows, but then it just clicks Crunch or Outrage and I get fucked, so yeah, the Decidueye is cool, it fits the team well, gives me the removal and stuff, and momentum. It just glues the team nicely together at this point. Speaking of glues and PPL Season 3, I did it again. I needed a ground type. Electric immunities are crucial. I don't have a water type yet, and I kind of want that. This team is looking really fire weak right now, with 2 weaknesses and no resists. Roboti's not really doing anything against them. I also need Stealth Rocks, which I don't have at this point. I did it again, guys. I got Toad. Bennington, rest in peace, Chester, by the way. Once again, on my teams, magically, it just happened. It fit well. It's only 8 points, which I forgot to mention. This Druid was 12, Romatis was 10, Rudic was 14. So, as that, it's just, it was there, you know, and it fit so well and did everything I needed at that point. So I just got it, you know. I also wanted the water immunity over something like Swampert. I wanted, you know, the knockoff users also super duper nice. And man, it was there, you know. I can't help it. It always happens. So yeah, we have Silent Toad again. You know, I adore this Pokemon. Last MPL season, this was, my personal opinion, potentially my MVP throughout the season. With Weavile, I guess, which I picked up later. Because I brought some cool sets and I put in work every time, and I love Silent Toad. I brought Scarf, I brought Power Punch, I brought whatever the fuck else I can't remember. Yeah, such a good Pokemon. I hope I can pull some more spicy stuff this season. Maybe I can finally fucking bring Rain Toad, because I've never done that. I was close multiple times and I never did it. Of course, it's gonna be running Water Absorb most of the time. And yeah, it's just Silent Toad. It's just good. I've used it so many times, but now you should know. I think I've had it, what, 4 or 5 times before this? Probably. I think 2 PPL seasons, an NPL season, and something else. Maybe 3 PPL seasons? I don't know. It's Silent Toad. It's my boy. And that's that. That's the first half of the team, essentially, a little bit more than half. Let me pause real quick and then we'll get into the rest of it. Alright, so, those were the first 6. Now, 7th round, this is where I decided it's time to get the Pokemon I really, really, really wanted. I also should add, I got sniped of a few things here and there, nothing too major, I think. Tentacruel. Tentacruel was a big one. I really wanted Tentacruel for Grounded Poison, Rapid Spin, Water type, Toxic Spikes, everything I wanted basically, but then I think Ellie took it, and I hate you, Ellie. Yeah. And a few other things that I don't remember as much, but definitely Tentacruel was one big one that I really wanted. But, you know, Garbodor. Oh, I wanted Garbodor. Fuck you, Kyle. So upset. I don't know if there was anything else, but those were the main 2. But yeah, now it's time to get that steel type I really wanted, and this is a low tier steel that I personally think is really underrated. It gives me a Stealth Rocker, and it gives me a secondary ground type, which, as you know by my from my drafts, I usually like having 2 electric immunities that don't share a weakness, just because that makes electric types not viable against me. Which is cool because I don't have to worry about volt switching and stuff like that, because that's fucking annoying. And this is Steelix, which is gonna be called Gold Digger, because that's not where a nickname goes. That's not at all where a nickname goes. Can I fucking okay? So I got Gold Digger because I couldn't think of anything better. I usually call him fucking Dick or some stupid things when I play on Showdown, but let's just go with this. Yeah, this thing is a fucking beast, and I think people should draft it more. This is the, I think, 3rd or 4th mod that I knew I wanted. I knew I wanted my top 2, and I think Reuniclus. So, add Steelix, and we have the monster I wanted. It does get Sheer Force, it does get 32 useful abilities. Rockhead, I don't think anyone has ever used willingly. But yeah, it gives me another Stealth Rocker, it gives me the Electric Immunity, it gives me that nice Steel type that I really like. As you might know by now, I don't like many Steel types, so Steelix is one of the ones that I actually do appreciate. And it's only 5 points, so it's a fucking bargain, really. And it has a cool move pool. There's a lot of offensive moves I can rock on it, as you can see if you just like take a look real quick. There's a Taunt for some godforsaken reason, which with 30 speed I'm not going to be able to run, but this is another anti-Trick Room 1 on my team, which is super duper cool. And yeah, I just really like Steelix. It does have that ridiculous defense that it does have mediocre special bulk, I'm aware, but with things like the Sidrai Aromatisse and even, you know, running Assault Vest or just especially bulky Reuniclus, I think I'm fine there. See, it's just that physical sponge that's just gonna take everything, and yeah, I really like it. I've wanted to draft it since like season 2 of PPL or some shit, and now I have it, and I'm really happy because it's a good Pokemon. So now we get into the part where I was really lost. I was struggling like crazy. I had my entire front office helping me with making decisions on this. There were 4 rounds left. I had, let me do math, 37 points left? Yeah, that seems like correct math. And there were a bunch of things I still wanted. I wanted a higher tier mon, I wanted a grounded poison, I wanted fire resists, I wanted speed tiers because my speed tiers are still fucked. I wanted something between, well, two things that I needed were kind of like below Weavile essentially in general. I wanted something there between Seismitoad Toad and Weavile because that's what my speed tiers are at right now, which is god awful. Another removal wouldn't hurt either because I only have the situation for that right now. So the first one I picked was one I wanted actually in a different league, in an off-season league that I was in, but I didn't get it. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the many ones I joined. But I didn't get it. Now I have it, and that is Feraligatr. Yes, I think this is the name, something like that. It's a link. You can click on it. Trust me, it's fine. No, it's a capital R. That's important. Yeah, Feraligatr. The interior crocodile alligator, which is the link. Just so you know, you don't want to click on it. I know. Yeah, Feraligatr, such a cool Pokemon, with Sheer Force of course, and I can rock the Life Orb, and I can run a little added move. It got Liquidation. It's just a slight power boost in comparison to Waterfall, which is super cool to have. It gives me another priority user, of course, with Aqua Tail, yeah. It does get DD, it does get SD, so and Agility, it does it all three sets. I can run Physical or Special. It has really nice bulk, actually. It has the same bulk as Blastoise, if I'm not completely mistaken. Pretty sure it's the exact same defensive set as you good old Stoys, which is ridiculous. And yeah, this thing is just so nice. I think it's really underestimated and undervalued by people. It was 12 points, which is a decent chunk. It's quite a lot of points, but I really like Gator. I really want something on my team that has speed boosting setup, and Gator is one of the best DD users that isn't a Dragon type, which, spoilers, I will go without a Dragon type this season at least until I make the transfer. I was considering things like Haxorus, but that was really only viable to me personally with Z moves, and without I just didn't want it at all. So since I decided to put my Z moves on my last two Pokemon, Feraligatr was the choice here, and it does give me, as I said, priority and stuff. Secondary water type is always nice to have two of them, one more defensive, one more offensively minded one. And yeah, the thing is it doesn't have the greatest coverage. It does have Water Stab, Ice Punch, Crunch, essentially, that's it. You can run Earthquake, you can even run Return in certain situations if you really want to. Body Slam is also an option, which I think is stronger than Return. I could be wrong, I don't know, I don't care. It should be, yeah, math, with Sheer Force. But I don't know if that's even legal and whatever. I can run a special set with Scald and Ice Beam, which are both Sheer Force boosted. Then probably gonna have to rock a Hidden Power. I can run Unstepped Dragon coverage for the memes, but I don't think I'm gonna have time for that. And yeah, I just really think this is a really nice Pokemon. Life of Sheer Force Gator is super duper strong, and people are gonna have to look out for the thing, because this is good. This is a good Pokemon. Also, water types are it's only reliable counter, I'd say. And then I have, the Sidra, I have Reuniclus for them, I have Seismitoad for them, and I have, my two light epics can also kind of deal with them. Aromatisse even doesn't care. Weavile and Lopunny chunk them, and even Gator does a good chunk them. I can run Sub if they don't run Hidden Power for me or something like that, so all fine and dandy. Gator's a threat, and that'll be great. Also, people are going to probably prep more for my first two mon and for maybe my last two, and then Gator is just going to be free to roam and kill things. So, now we get into a mon that I am incredibly excited about. It's my Grounded Poison, it's my Toxic Spiker, it's another setup sweeper, and it's my first of two Z-move users. And that is none other than Venomoth. This is the Quick Moth, show to Big Shock. I made this nickname a while ago when I was still relevant. This thing, oh my lord, it is such an animal. If you would like to do calcs with Tinted Lens Z-move Venomoth, I encourage you to do so, because nothing lives. It's just utterly ridiculous how much damage this thing does with Z-moves. Shout out to Tom Boss, by the way, for putting my attention to that. The best Pokemon YouTuber out there, without a doubt. I can also run Shield Dust and Water Skin if I really feel like it, but Tinted Lens is just the move. So with Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, and Sludge Bomb, I pretty much have everything I need. I can run the Steep Putter, I can run U-Turn for Momentum, I can run the Defog if I really want to. I have things like Psychic as options. Toxic Spike is always an option, and that's pretty much all it has. Hidden powers, of course, exist. But yeah, it doesn't have the greatest move pools, but it does need it. I can run Roost as well if I really feel like my opponent has more fat team and try to, outbulk my Venomoth. I can Quiver and Roost, but I don't think that's gonna be too helpful. And G-Ball is also an option occasionally, but I don't think that's gonna be too useful. But yeah, Venomoth is an absolute god. I Quiver once, I click a Z move, and something dies. That's the whole story of Venomoth, and that's all I needed to do. This thing can clean up teams. It can just break teams. I can just use it as a breaker if I really feel like it. I can also run Baton Pass, but not with Quiver Dance because I can't pass Speed another step, but I can pass Agilities, and I think it does something else. It gets whatever, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I can also just, as I said, I can run a momentum-based set. I can run T-spiking set. Maybe I can run it more bulky, even though its sets are pretty shit. Occasionally, that's always viable, even with monsters that aren't too bulky, because the typing is interesting. Can deal with certain things, and this makes grass types its bitch, which are also a way of potentially dealing with Gator. And this thing just doesn't care about any grass type. Like, what are you gonna do to me? Hidden power? That's cute. Of course there are some whatever, but most of the grass types don't really do much against this thing after Quiver, especially. And yeah, it gives me a nice 90 speed here, which I also needed to put something between Gator and my last pick, which is the one that is between Venomoth and Weavile. So I have my speed tiers pretty much covered for the most part. They're not perfect, like I usually have pretty perfect speed tiers, but whatever. And Venomoth I am super duper excited about. I'll hopefully bring it a lot, and then hopefully it'll put in a lot of work. We'll see how that goes. So with Venomoth being 8 points, I now have 17 points left, and there's only one pick I'm going to make. And this was something I had in mind from the start, because I saw it was still around after round 4 or 5. I was like, I'm gonna pick this last. And Eric, baby Eric, a friend of mine, I was like, you have to pick this now. It's not staying. And I was like, fuck you, it's staying. I know it is. There's no way someone's picking this Pokemon this late. And I was right, because of course I was. This gives me an electric type. This gives me another ridiculously big threat. My second Z-move user. The speed tier that I want between Venomoth and the other guy. That one, Weavile. And that is none other than Thunderous Incarnate. Yes. We got Luxus, because it's the perfect name, because it's electric and has the crossed arms like Luxus always does. Anyway, I've been reading Fairy Tail again recently. It's, it's my favorite thing ever. Yeah, Thunderous Eye with Prankster and Defiant, 2 cool abilities, and 111 speed tier, mixed attacking stats, nasty plot, bulk up, and just so many options for Z moves. You never know what I'm running, because I can do literally everything with the thing with Z moves. Super nice. Now at Gen 7.5, I guess, in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I also got Defog, which is cool. I can run the Prankster Defog if I really want to. Now Dark types can block that, of course, but if I'm not running Prankster, then, well, you're fucked. Because I'm probably not running Prankster Defog against a team with a scary Dark type, or a Dark type I think is viable against me. Yeah, by the way, the Prankster nerf makes no sense, but what's the point? Anyway, yeah, Thunderous Eye, just such a threat. Another thing that my opponents are gonna have to prep for a lot. And I think it's a fantastic one. I'm glad I finally got it. I never really used it much. I had it in tournaments, and I think I had it in one, was it March Madness, Summer Showdown? One of those. And I had to run Yachi Berry pretty much every game, because there's always some Ice Shot user, some other shit. So it was just Yachi Thundi every game. And now I'll get to run some more sets with it, and I'm excited. It's such a threat, such a good Pokemon. And yeah, just together with Weavile and Megalophony, it's a nice, big, high-tier threat core, and then Venomoth and Gator are kind of the low-key ones that I can bring. So I can pick my threats how I want them. Reuniclus, Decidueye, Aromatisse are all offensive problems, I guess, in their own right. And then Sabertooth Six, I'm going to, support monsters essentially, just for that purpose. So does Aromatisse, I think. I should more put Aromatisse in that category, honestly. But they can be offensive, they can be big threats. So can Six if I want to run Life Orb Sheer Force on that thing as well. Always an option. So yeah, that is the team. I can actually go back. I realized that there's nothing you can't see here. There's the original one. Off-season league, and there's another off-season league that I'm in. I have the up to speed, and in this one I have Mewtwo. Don't question it. I have it. It's great. Random Pew team around the Head Smash Corsola with Hustle. It's great. Yeah. So that's the squad. These 10 mons are gonna be what has to. Let's try it again. These 10 mons are gonna have to carry me through the season. That's just word more easily because I can't speak English. Yeah, I actually really like the team. Like, as little as I actually care about PPL, or not PPL, Pokemon. I care about PPL, not about Pokemon. Don't get confused. This team is pretty cool. I was pretty excited for it for a while. My excitement for Pokemon has died down a lot more now with Overwatch League and me getting better at Overwatch overall. It's just, yeah, something I enjoy a lot more than Pokemon. I haven't watched a Pokemon video in God knows how long. And yeah, that's that. I like this team. Tell you to think of it. Week 1 is actually going up tomorrow on Monday. As week 1 already. Crazy, right? Because I've had a new laptop. I didn't have a recording software on it, and I didn't get one until now. So shout out to Hera for providing me with a recording software, because now I can actually do this. And yeah, I also still need Photoshop, so someone hit me up, please. Thank you. Until then, I'm just gonna use PaintNet because it's better anyway. But yeah, that's the team. Tell me what you think of it. I like it. As I said, I think it's a cool team, and I hope at least like 3 of you are still excited for me doing Pokemon stuff, because that's always a motivator. Yeah, week 1 is going to be up against Ruby Marrow and his Cleveland Bros. We didn't actually get to play him last season, even though he wasn't on schedule. He had some, I don't even remember what it was. He had some issues, and then we couldn't play, so I had to pull Bill Standish in his place, who is now in D2 as well, by the way, which is neat. But now I get to play him. Hopefully nothing's gonna happen. And he has Super Unbound with Z-moves, and he also has a Mana Fee. And that's scary. That's pretty much it, but I'll get into it in the week 1 video. Add me on PS4 and play Overwatch with me, sha-leik697. Tell me who you are, and we can play Overwatch and other video games together. Yeah, that's it. Again, tell me what you think of the team, and follow me on Twitter. Check out all the PPL links in the description below. There are all the coaches, and the shop, the public spreadsheet. I will add that as well. The Discord server, and the Twitter, and that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's gonna be it. Thank you all very much for watching. I am back. I'm still alive. I still can talk. I still can make videos. Those are all things that are true. Yeah, sure. But yeah, also I'm in semifinals of this league. Surprising, I have Mewtwo, who'd have thought. Yeah, again, thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave some news. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Good.